All right, so let's set the scene. You're scrolling online, maybe browsing a marketplace, and then you see it. It's this heavy industrial-looking box. It's clearly a piece of serious hardware, a relic from some corporate data center, and it's being sold for practically nothing. So what do? Do you take the plunge?
Well, somebody did, and this is the exact leap of faith they took. They saw this absolute beast of a machine, saw the raw potential, and they dropped $150 on it without really knowing anything about what was inside. You gotta love the honesty there. This isn't just a simple purchase. It's really the start of an adventure.
And that's the million-dollar question, isn't it? Or, well, the $150 question. Is this the deal of a lifetime? The rock-solid foundation for an amazing home lab? Or is it just a power-sucking, jet engine-loud paperweight it's going to cost a fortune to keep alive? Let's find out.
Okay, so what exactly did that 150 get them? It's time to pop the hood and see what we're working with here. Because, when you're dealing with old enterprise gear, the age isn't nearly as important as the architecture. So on paper, this thing is just stacked. I mean, look at this. You've got 12 hot swap drive bays, dual CPUs from that Xeon E5 era, which were workhorses, 32 gigs of server-grade RAM, and get this, dual redundant power supplies. That means one can fail, and the whole thing just keeps on chugging along. This machine was built for 24/7 uptime in a serious data center, not sitting in a closet at home.
So here's the first major takeaway. No matter how old those components are, you did not buy trash. Not at all. In fact, just the heavy-duty case and the drive caddies themselves are often worth more than $150. What you really bought here is a box just full of potential.
But, and there's always a but with old enterprise gear, this is where the story takes a sharp turn. That initial price you pay, it is never ever the full story. There's always a catch. There's always a hidden price tag you don't see until you get it home and plug it in.
Yeah, that $150, think of that as just the cover charge to get into the club. That was the easy part. Now we get to the real costs, the things that really separate a fun project from a very, very expensive headache.
And those hidden costs, they come at you from three main directions. First, you've got the sheer amount of electricity this thing's going to suck down. Then there's the noise. And trust me, it's a factor. And finally, you have the not-so-small challenge of actually filling all 12 of those beautiful but very empty drive bays.
So let's talk about power for a second. A server like this with those dual CPUs, it could easily pull 200 watts just sitting there, doing absolutely nothing. That's 200 watts, 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. To put that in perspective, your modern laptop might use a tiny fraction of that while it's idling.
And this right here, this is the financial shock. With that 200-watt idle, you could easily be looking at over $250 a year in electricity costs alone. That's right, in less than 12 months, the power to run the server will cost you more than the server itself. Ouch.
And then we've got the noise. See, these machines were designed to live in freezing cold data centers where nobody cares how loud they are. The fans have one job: move as much air as possible, period. So when you fire this thing up in a quiet room for the first time, it's not a gentle hum, it's a roar.
Okay. So it's expensive to run and it's super loud. So why on earth would anybody want one of these things? Well, this is where we get to the good part, the payoff. All of that hardware, all that potential, it can be harnessed to build something truly incredible. This is where the fun really starts.
So this old server can basically have three amazing new lives. It could become a media fortress, a central vault for all of your files and backups, or maybe a digital playground, a lab for you to experiment with virtual machines. Or it could be the ultimate all-in-one hub that does a little bit of everything. But let's be real. The most obvious, most powerful use for a machine with 12 drive bays is to turn it into a network-attached storage device, a NAS. It's basically your own private cloud right in your home. This chassis is practically screaming to be filled with hard drives and turned into the ultimate data vault. But as soon as you decide to build that NAS, that cheap $150 server forces you to get a crash course in modern storage tech. You immediately slam into this huge debate: CMR versus SMR drives. One of them is perfect for servers. The other can be an absolute catastrophe waiting to happen. And I'm not just being dramatic. This isn't some academic detail. If you choose the wrong type of drive, an SMR drive, for a server's RAID array, it can be a disaster.
See, when one drive fails and the system tries to rebuild your data onto a new one, those SMR drives can slow to an absolute crawl, leaving your data at risk for hours, sometimes even days. It is a painful lesson you only want to learn once.
So as you're going down this whole rabbit hole of hard drives and power bills and fan noise, you start to realize something. The story, it isn't really about the server anymore. It's about the journey that the server sends you on.
And this is how it always goes, right? It starts with one cheap server. Then, of course, you need drives to fill it. Then you realize your home network is way too slow, so you have to upgrade to 10 gigabit networking. Then you need a proper server rack to hold it and a UPS to protect it from power outages. And before you know it, you're on a forum somewhere planning out a second server for redundancy. It's called scope creep, and it is the beating heart of the home lab hobby.
And that, right there, is the ultimate point of this whole thing. What you really bought for that $150 wasn't just a computer. It was a ticket. It was an entry point into a super deep, sometimes challenging, but incredibly rewarding hobby of building and running your own little piece of the internet.
You didn't just get a box of metal and silicon. You got headroom, the space to learn and to grow. You got possibility, the chance to build anything you can dream up. You bought yourself 12 bays of pure, unadulterated, hey, why not try this? It's a platform for pure experimentation.
So, let's circle all the way back to that original question. Was it worth it? After all this, the hidden costs, the noise, the crash course in storage technology, is it worth it? And the answer is, yeah. A resounding yes. Absolutely.
Because the real value here isn't measured in dollars and cents. It's measured in the skills you pick up along the way and the amazing things you create. Just maybe don't look at that next electricity bill too closely. You've been warned.